Hello, welcome back. In this video, we will try to understand lambda, map, filter, and reduce function. So this makes a program very shorter. Suppose you want to write a simple shorter code without any need of loops and branching, then the lambda, map, filter, and reduce will going to help you. Okay, so this is slightly difficult, but I'm here to make it very simple for you. So let's try to understand what is the meaning of a lambda, map, filter, and reduce function. Okay, great. So suppose first I have written a function. So what is the use of this function? This function is basically return answer multiply by 2. Okay. So this is one kind of a operation which I am doing on data. Mark my word, operation. Okay. So first, this function has been written to do some operation on a data. And the sequence which you can see over here is a list. And that is basically a data. So what we are doing in this map function, what we are actually doing in this map function. So map have always two things. The first is always the operation. And the second one is basically the data. And what we are going to do in the map, we are going to apply the operation on data. Great. So what we are going to do, we are going to apply the operation on data. And what is the operation? Multiply by 2. So we are going to take one by one value in this data. We are going to multiply with 2. And after that, we are going to print that. Now, why I have written in the list? Otherwise, the answer will come very weird format. So the answer is in list. Okay, the data which you provided is in list. So I want the answer to be converted in the list itself. In the list itself. Great. So let's run this. So you can see 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is been applied with the operation multiply by 2 and the answer is printed. Great. Now let's see, instead of this function, we can use a method called lambda or a function called lambda. So lambda is also we can use, use to write some equations. So the now equation is what? Wow, equation is multiply by 2. Multiply by 2. And this is basically the operation itself. The operation says each value should be multiplied by 2. Now see here, this is a data again. And what is inside the map? We have a very great way of understanding, and that is map is having two important things. The first one is the operation and the second one is the data. So let's print that. Okay, so same answer we are getting. Either you can write a function, or inside function, if you have an equation, you can directly use a lambda and write that function itself. There's one more way of writing it down and which makes the things very simple for us. Okay, now this is a data. Same answer you are going to get. And the operations I have written inside that only. See, first always we have in the map what we have the operation, and the second one is the data. So data is sequence. Great. And inside that we have the lambda function. So lambda is basically the operation. So when I run that, the operation will be applied on data and we get a great answer. Now suppose we want to apply some filtering. So that is also possible. So let's see how the filtering works. Okay. So now this is a data. And here we are having a filter. And that filter is basically two things are come always in the filter. The first one is operation with condition, because it is a filtering. operation with conditions, comma, data. Okay, let me write it down on another line itself, so you can able to see it clearly. Filter is always operation with condition. You can see operation with condition. So this is an operation. I'm checking whether the value is greater than 0 or not, and I'm applying that conditions or a operation on a data. So data which I've defined over here. So I'm just checking whether the number is positive or not. If the number is not positive, I'm not going to print that. Okay, so the all positive number will be filtered. Similar, one more example of a filtering. So this is data, and I'm applying a filtering operation on that. And the operation is basically I have written in the lambda, and that is I'm going to divide the value by 15, and if the answer is 0, the remainder is 0, that will be included in the list. That means I'm checking whether it is a divide by 15 value or not, divisible by 15 or not. So great way of doing that. Suppose you want to write this in a loop, then it takes a lot of lines and efforts to understand and write. But with the map, filter, reduce function and lambda function, it makes very simple for us. Similarly, I have written a program over here, divide by 2 operation. This is an operation separately also you can write down. So this is an operation. What is the operation? I'm just checking. Operation with condition. Okay, we have to be very clear with that. Operation with condition. And operation is what? I'm just dividing by 2. And condition is what? I'm just checking whether it is answer is coming as 0 or not. Again, we have the data over here. Now I'm applying the operation with condition on a data using a filter. So the even number will be printed. Just wow. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Again, you can, instead of writing the lambda function separately, you can just put it inside this and get your answer. Okay. So in reduce, I'm going to cover one example that will be that will actually make you understand how the reduce function work. So in the func tool, we have a reduce function, and the reduce function basically multiply can be used for any kind of a reduction in a loop. So here's, you can see I've taken the value from 1 to 100. Okay, the value is taken from 1 to 100 in the range function. After that, what we have done, we have basically multiply all the values in the reduce. So I've written x comma y equal to x multiplied by y. So 1 will be multiplied by 2, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 4, and it is go on till 100. So everything will be multiplied and the answer will be available. You can see the very big answer will going to come for sure. You can apply this reduce function for such kind of a recursive multiplication. So I hope the map, filter, reduce, and the lambda function is very much crystal clear to you. Stay tuned. This is Piyush Dave signing off. Thank you very much.